Now recording.
There you go, and we're away.
And okay, yeah, sure.
Is Odie here and is he talking?
He is here. He's adjusting his microphone because he's got an echo and we can hear ourselves through his mic. Or at least we were. It seems to have resolved itself.
I turned down my volume. Maybe that was it.
Perhaps.
Yeah, now it sounds better. Yeah, if it's too loud, it'll sort of like bleed through the headphones to the microphone.
Sorry if I bursted out your ears or something.
It was more of a distraction than a bursting of the ears.
No, it wasn't that. It was sort of like when Pan's been in the party lately. You can hear yourself speak every time you open your mouth now.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast where the shows we discuss tips, tricks, and tools to help other Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. What makes us different? Well, we're not streamers or YouTubers. We just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 information and news and opinions. We encourage your questions and feedback. You can contact us either by email to titansandhunter@hotmail.com or on Twitter at 2titans_hunter. Now, on with the show.
Anyway, is anybody going to do an intro at any point in time?
I can, yeah, I suppose so. Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter.
And another Hunter.
And Odie, whatever he is.
For episode 52. And we welcome ODST Mayhem 62 to the podcast this week, seeing as we talk about him a lot. We thought we'd drag him on here, get his opinions, and we thought we'd do exactly the same thing that we did to poor old AZ last week, not give him any notes and let him get his hot take reactions as we go through. So this is the new game that we like to play with our guests.
It is, and I can hear the excitement in your voice. Do you hear that, Parody? Like, he is genuinely excited about this.
He is stoked. He is super excited. Well, we were talking to Odie earlier and getting him in here and prepping him for the show and letting him know that he's going to have to fight to get a second word in because that's usually how these things go.
Remember when we were doing that raid and Night Demon's mic? I didn't have a mic first off, and everything was going to all heck. And Night Demon had a mic, but his mic was so bad.
Bad.
You talk like, and you, right, yeah.
There was nothing wrong with my mic. It was the fact that Respawn was in the party and it was just all going to hell.
Excuse me? No, sir.
I'm sorry.
You do not get to put this off on me.
That raid, I was way too much. If anybody was wondering who they were mentioning last couple podcasts ago, they were mentioning me. I was the bad guy in that raid.
I'm pretty sure we've called you up by name at some point, and if not, well, then you've outed yourself now. So
that's right.
Take full responsibility for Night Demon's microphone and my stupidness.
You can take responsibility for half of that if you like.
Yeah, Night Demon's mic.
All I heard was, "Odie, you mother."
Correct.
Yes. And it gets like that on the podcast most nights as well. Actually, no, it's been quite good for a while.
Why did you have to say that?
Now you've told it.
Well,
no.
What I like is the fact that I've managed to condense this week's podcast into 6 pages. And page 6 of that is a few of the links. So really, we've only got 5 pages to talk about. So
that matters not even a little bit.
I know.
I don't know how we do it, but we always manage to stretch that limit in ways that are unique. I
don't know, because some weeks we've been up to like 16 pages when it's been a really high intense kind of news feed for everything coming out, and then other weeks it's been like 4 pages, and we still managed to get to about
that's what I'm saying,
2.5 hours worth of recording, and I don't know how we do it.
Magic, talent. Nice.
We're very good at what we do.
We are.
It could be the fact that we always intercut it with a few songs every now and then.
What?
Spread out the length.
Yeah, absolutely. Songs are important. The people love their music.
Songs are not important.
In fact, I don't think anybody's actually said, we really like the songs. Can you please carry them on?
Exactly. Nobody likes them. You keep sticking them in.
But also, no one has said,
for my own personal amusement.
Okay. Well, actually, right on the top of the show this week, since we never do this, and we probably should, Dear lovely podcast listeners out there in the world, go to Apple Podcasts, go to Google Play, go to a place where you can hit a like button, hit a thumbs up, leave us a review. Apparently it helps people find our show, and I feel like, you're listening to us. You put up with us every week. More people should put up with us every week.
That's what I've been saying.
So go places, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things. If YouTube's your thing, we put a version up on YouTube every week. It's got terrible gameplay over the same great audio you'll get here. But yeah, just hit the little button on the show with whatever you use to listen to us, and more people will find us. And then more people can weigh in on whether we should put out a full EP of Respawn singing or not. So let us know this week. Hit us up on Twitter, show an email. Do you want a full EP of Respawn? We will put one together.
Why do y'all keep throwing me under the bus here? No.
There'll be a tiny fee for it because, it helps the show keep going. Because you're a great singer, clearly. I mean, as the people know, you already have a number of hits. So why would we, stop that to take away this amazing income stream and also not giving the people what they want?
Because I don't think anybody has said that I have a number of hits.
If anyone can splice his words together better than I can and put a lovely theme tune to it, please feel free to go ahead and do it and send it on into the podcast, and we will play it as often as possible.
Or,
Respawn remix contest. I like it.
No, I don't like it. Nope. No.
We'll have to find a reward. And similarly, if you're tired of Respawn singing, tell us you're tired of the singing, and we, probably still won't stop because he keeps singing, whether he tries to or not. To be fair, some of them are your actual songs. They weren't just things spliced together. It's you singing that, Craig could listen to. So only 3/4 of it can be really Craig's fault.
Mm-hmm.
You do have this knack for suddenly just breaking into song for some unknown reason.
It's not my fault.
So Respawn has been reinforced this week with another hunter to back him up. Not sure whether it's going to be much backup, but he's got backup of another hunter. Again, we are short on warlocks. Any warlocks out there that would like to come on the show, please contact Respawn.
Why do you keep dropping my name? Stop. No, do not contact me.
For that exact reason. That's why.
Oh, goodness. Anyway, apparently Respawn also has Luna's Howl that wants to say hi. Howl! Okay, now go away.
Excellent. All right, so this train wreck of a show episode. We've 52 episodes. This is nuts.
I thought it was 53. I'll be honest.
Well, it's 52 on the number. We don't count when we try to figure out numbers and make things work.
Don't confuse them even more. They got confused the other week about what number it was.
We never get confused.
We
are complete professionals.
Left them by themselves, and that was it. They got completely confused.
No, we did all of this entirely intentionally and on purpose.
Are hard.
Look, if it's above 20, I run out of digits, okay? And it's a pain to start over. So just leave it at 20, and we'll just do hey, we're on 20 times 2 plus 14. Yes.
Once we get to 1,000, I'll be in the nursery home, and Parody and Night Demon and No Respawn. Well, I'll just be doing this podcast by myself at that.
You know how many weeks there are in a year, don't you?
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying, giving an example.
We're not that old. I mean,
right?
No.
I mean, 52.
We could always speed it up. We could do 6 a week if you like, and get to 1,000 quicker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people have been asking about that anyway.
Nobody's been asking.
Everybody's been asking. Look, just because you refuse to see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Okay.
Nobody's been asking.
Sure, they have.
You say people have been asking, but you've presented no proof or evidence of any of this asking.
Look. This
just
is America.
When I ask the people to ask you things, they never do that
have
either.
The burden of proof. Okay, not me.
This is a podcast. It's not America. You know the difference between a podcast and a country, don't you?
Yes, and this podcast is in America speaking freaking English.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
This podcast is in the cloud. It lives up in the sky.
Pretty sure I'm in America. Pretty sure Az is in America.
Podcast.
Pretty sure Parody is in America, and I'm pretty sure Demon is in America. He's just pretending to be from a country across the pond, or something like that.
International podcast.
Far Eastern America.
We are world-renowned podcasters now.
Far Eastern.
We are world-renowned.
That's
right.
Yes.
So, welcome to the podcast, as we said.
Welcome.
Nice light start.
If you've kind of been sleeping through Destiny for the last week or a couple of weeks, and you've really just kind of, having an easy time of it. No. Bungie say no. We've got more stuff for you to do. Secretly, they launched the Corridors of Time quest, which meant we all had to run around in the Corridors of Time and try and decipher puzzles. Now, this launched on Tuesday with a reset, and this quest popped up. Somebody had the foresight to go and speak to Osiris, and then relayed it back to the community. So we had to go and pick up a quest. So everybody picked this up. We all then ran into the sundial, pushed the button, and then disappeared into the Corridors of Time, trying to figure out what we were doing, because we ran in there, all these doors were open, all these different symbols were popping up, and it took a while for people to suddenly, get the hang of what was going on. And it slowly came about that there were symbols on the obelisks every hour on the hour, and they would change every hour as well. And these symbols would rotate on the obelisks. And I watched the Abontis video, and he couldn't remember whether these symbols had been there from the start. And I vaguely remember there being symbols on the obelisks on all the different planets. But these symbols were rotating every hour, and they were basically giving you a code to go through these different doorways in the Corridors of Time. Have you guys actually done it?
I've done enough to get the emblem. I decided not to do the 19 additional ones that you did.
I'll do it. I'll do it when it ends up being something worth doing, like whenever it's part of an exotic quest or something.
Well, that's the thing at the moment.
It might be. We don't know.
Yeah, and if it is, then I'll do it.
Yeah. Pan ODST and I actually ran through it the other day, using the Abontis video and the picture he had, and we're going, okay, what shape are you all calling these things? Because we were calling some things mushroom that they're like, no, it's diamond. Okay, whatever. So it's always good to have, what nomenclature are we using? Because the text-only version wasn't so helpful. But yeah, we got the emblem out of it. Although in true Titan fashion, Pan and I ran past where you get the emblem into the pool and said, uh-oh, I hope this doesn't put us back at the beginning again. Thankfully, it does not. You just have to walk down the hallway into the same room. Odie intelligently walked up to where it said reveal and got his emblem the first time.
That promptly went to the postmaster.
The hunter learned from the two Titans messing it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, basically, people were running around these Corridors of Time and doing these different sequence doors. There's 7. And when you look on the obelisks, they ran from... It didn't start at 12 o'clock. It started from like the 1 o'clock position and worked its way around clockwise and then back down into the center. And there were 7 different doorways that you had to go through. And then it would take you to the Time Lost Vault. And in this Time Lost Vault, there's a grave with a sword that's on this kind of headstone part of it. And then there's a symbol of a guardian, but you can't actually get close to it. Every time you get close to it, it kind of teleports you back to the beginning, but you can walk back through and get to it again. But there's this kind of glass floor that you can look down, and when you push the reveal button, or it's X on Xbox, it would give you lore pages, and there were 19 lore pages that were hidden in all these different symbols. And then once that was done, the community then figured out that there was a greater puzzle to this, that if you did a different sequence, it would give you an emblem. It was a hidden emblem. And apparently, according to Bungie, we got the emblem a lot quicker than we should have. It should have been a little bit longer, but through basically brute force and a lot of people working on it, we were able to get the emblem a lot quicker, which then basically gave us the first piece of a puzzle. Well, that you could kind of see. So I was explaining this to Parody, and he didn't realize that when you go to that center room and you click reveal, you'll get your emblem. But then if you look down through the glass floor, you'll see a pattern of different symbols, and each pattern is different for the whoever goes into that room. So Respawn would get something different from me, Parody would get something different from me, and every single guardian, and that includes if you go on like 3 different characters, each character would get a different symbol. And what this has kind of led to is a big community puzzle that there are like thousands and thousands of people now working on. And Bungie acknowledged the progress that the community had made since the puzzle went live in the TWAB. And they said that there's a mysterious quest that's been offered by the wily warlock, who's always been messing about with time itself. The community is already on the case and working together to explore the corridors of time. They don't want to spoil anything, but they want to let us know that this one's a marathon and not a sprint. And I said to Parody, that's like a red rag to a bull. You know, why do you tell the streamers that it's a marathon? They didn't say it's time gated. If they'd have said it's time gated, that might have slowed them down, but they've just said it's a marathon, which means, hey, we'll put more and more people on this and we get more and more people involved and we'll sprint it to the finish. So apparently they're going to be keeping an eye on things, and so far they're impressed with the progress. And at the time of writing, sorry,
they're just egging the speedrunners to get on it, you know.
Oh yeah, well, not just that. They're getting the whole community to go, right, we can solve this by the end of the weekend. We'll have this done, kind of thing. And at the time of writing the notes for the podcast on Friday the 17th of January, say midday UK time, the streamers and their teams are already up to 5,001 different sequences for the end puzzle that they'd kind of put together with hundreds of people to help. Their goal was to create a map and then give it out to the community to follow to find a route as quick as possible. And it's just been really bizarre to actually. I've been dropping in and out of streams, and I started with Sweatsicles this morning, and they'd been up all night trying to figure out all these different codes, and they figured out at some point that they could invite people into the room where they were, and each person that came in would give a different sequence for them to look at. So what they were doing is then taking screenshots of that of the symbols layout. Then it got to the point where a Say No to Rage had taken over, and he was getting people in, getting them to show them their symbols. He would punch them, and then the next person would come in, show them the next symbol. And Parody was saying, it's a fantastic way of punching in and out of
yeah, it gives punching in and out a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
You're done.
So they were trying to get more and more symbols quicker and quicker, because it was taking a lot of time for, say, random people to suddenly say, oh, I've got this screenshot of this one, and then upload it. So they were getting people in a lot quicker. And that was only a couple of hours ago, and they're still on it now to this point. Just that they're now inputting it into Google spreadsheets, and there's this massive picture of this puzzle where all these different hexagons link up with all these different sequences. And what they think might happen is that it would only take one person to go through the corridors of time to unlock whatever we kind of need to do, a bit like what we've had previously with the Niobe Labs. So if you weren't around for that, there was this still is this puzzle sequence that you can do with using the Niobe Labs weapons. And if you're looking through the viewer on those in a specific room, it would show you kind of hidden symbols that you then have to shoot. Then you get different enemies to spawn in. Really long process, and it took the community a while to figure out, and it was really frustrating at times for some of the streamers to actually do, seeing as there was a piece missing from the communication that Bungie gave out. So yeah, there is this secret symbol that you can actually get from Niobe Labs if you want to go and do that. There are lots of videos on that. But previous to that, we've had a couple in the raids. There was one in Destiny 1 where staying on different cylinders in the raids opened up this pyramid that was in the center of the raid for the
Wrath of the Machine.
Wrath of the Machine raid, that was it. So yeah, you kind of had to jump in and on these different cylinders and work as a team to open up this pyramid, which then would give you an exotic or a chance an exotic, but then it would also lead you on to more puzzles to solve. And as Destiny's kind of grown and got bigger, these puzzles have got more and more elaborate, I'd say, to be honest. Wouldn't you guys?
Yeah, but why?
I think it's just to keep the community interested. I mean, Say No to Rage was saying earlier that he's found that a lot more people are talking, a lot more people are communicating, and it's been a very long time since Destiny streamers have all kind of been getting together and actually, working as a team. And whereas one person would finish a section and then they'd like hand the whole stream over to they'd invade somebody else, and that person would then take up the mantle and carry on. And it's been kind of this baton passing. thing that's worked in the community, that they were saying that they hadn't seen for quite some time, that it's bringing everybody together. And it's a good thing that, something that a period of time where we thought it was going to be quite light on content. I mean, it is for us average players. So, I mean, we're not all in there trying to run around and solve a puzzle, but to help, you could actually go in and get the symbol, take a screenshot of the picture that you've got of all these symbols, and then head on over to the raid secrets. I mean, I can link all this stuff in the show notes if it's even still relevant by the time this podcast comes out, because it's all helping people at the moment, because they need to have as many different people submit their sequences to help them then figure out this larger puzzle.
Which, had I realized there was a sequence, I would have looked down and taken a screenshot, but I did not. So if I'm the reason we haven't solved it yet, I apologize.
If you go back in with that same character, you should get the same sequence.
No, it changes daily, and some people are saying that you can possibly get 2 different on the same character depending on what time of day you go in. So you have, they were surmising that maybe that at some point they thought that it could be solved by one person alone, and if you took you had 3 characters and you went in twice daily with those 3 characters, that you get 6 sequences a day. But then this puzzle turning out to be a lot larger than what it actually going to be, to be honest. Just as an example, they were saying that they're at the point where they believe they have all the possible different patterns. The community is now trying to piece together a massive jigsaw puzzle of hexagons where the open sides of the center hex match another hex, as well as the mini hexes of all 6 symbols matching too. If the open side and the mini 6 symbols match, then those 2 patterns join and link together. And then updated, Glad's stream have completed hundreds of screen grabs across referencing and cross-referencing and have 43 unique patterns. They're now piecing them together to get a bigger piece of the jigsaw puzzle. It looks like it could be that we have to take a route of about 20-ish doors through a maze to get the final reward. And then update again, upon daily reset, there seems to be a load more new patterns appearing now, and they have long surpassed 43. They now think they're up to about 80. Ideas are being passed around and explored. Perhaps a larger puzzle changes each day, and also the larger symbols in the middle of the patterns hold more of significance than first thought. Still, no one knows anything for sure yet. The goal is to keep going until there are no more unique patterns appearing, and then work from there. So that's on the subreddit for raid secrets. I was quite interested. Like, I'm interested in doing it. I'd like to be involved in it, but I haven't got the time to, unfortunately. But I like these kind of things. It's one of those kind of things where if it was sat down in front of me and I had the whole thing, or I was working with people, I think my mind would be able to kind of help work these sequences out. I like doing things like this, kind of little puzzles. Or big puzzles.
Somebody does. I just sincerely hope after Niobe Labs that all the pieces are there to solve the puzzle, even if it is time gated and there are X number of solutions needed before the community can figure this out. I just hope they're all there, and we don't have an issue where Bungie goes, "Oh, hey, we forgot to give you the piece that makes this all work again."
Well, it sounds like that where they're saying it's a marathon, maybe it is time gated, and daily they're going to get like 40 odd different symbols per day. So we've only had like by the time people kind of cottoned onto this and actually got more and more people involved, we had about 3 or 4 days where there was only a select amount of people who were actually submitting it, and now there's a lot more people submitting, so they're getting more symbols. So some people might have got those symbols at the beginning of the week, like you guys, that didn't actually record those, and they won't be then repeated again till, say, Saturday or Sunday or even Monday. So maybe that's why they're saying it's a marathon, because everybody wasn't aware of it to start off with. We may have solved it by the weekend, but because more and more symbols need to be released, it's not going to be solved.
Yeah, that's sort of my guess. Is you're going to need enough symbols to piece together whatever this ends up being. Yeah, I'm curious to watch the progress, but I am not excited at all to jump in and try to help figure out. Now that I know it's a thing, I will. If I do the emblem or whatever again, I'll look down and send a screenshot somewhere. But as far as this stuff goes, the nerds can have it. I'm trying to play less games with spreadsheets, not more.
But there's the whole. It also might be something that's outside of the game too, right? Because if they're trying to make this visual puzzle, maybe it's, I don't know, a map. Because remember, once upon a time, Bungie did that whole, hey, it's coordinates and it's a map, and if you go there in real life, there's a thing waiting for you, or whatever. I don't see how all these symbols are going to culminate to something within the game itself, unless all these symbols come together to make 6 individual symbols in like massive freaking collage type things. I know what I'm trying to say, but the words are escaping me at the moment.
Have you seen any of the workings out that they've done yet?
I have seen some of them. Yeah, it's and it does look very visual, meaning I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be in the game unless it's like a message. Maybe it spells out something like, what Parody put in the chat. You know how Parody has these weird letters, Yeah, it could be something like that. Just spells something. I don't know.
It's going to be a route of going through different doors at different times. And what I've noticed at some points when you go through a door, at the first door that you go through, or the first triangle that you go through, you kind of get this big flash of light. And then you approach you run through the corridor, and then before you get to the next door, there's a big flash of light. And then some doors you go through and you don't get that, and some doors you still get that further on. So maybe that could be tied into it. I don't know. I mean, I ran around for half an hour jumping through all the ones that had trees near them until I got to the point of there's no trees in this one. What do? Let's go with rocks. Let's run through the rock ones. I thought I was onto something.
Someone's got to.
Yeah.
I'll be very curious to see, just like Niobe Labs, I'll be very curious to see at the end of this what it amounts to. I just hope it's, I'm not saying hope it's worth it, because it'll be, interesting for the guys who did it, whatever it is. My other thought, of course, is just, hey, it gives people something to stream. It gives the community a boost.
Yeah.
That never hurts to have sort of like a big meta event that, the gaming press and whatever can talk about, that's not like, oh, super boring, oh, whatever, Destiny, blah, blah, blah. Because even in other games, like, the first one's like where I'll read a story, 52 people have put together a rescue mission in one of these games where you're a spaceship, miles out. It's going to take them, 3 months to fly to where this ship is and help them out. It's like, it's just an interesting story. I don't know anything about I don't even remember what the game was now. I don't play those games, but it's just an interesting story. And it's like, oh, there's this crazy puzzle in this shooter, you might go, oh, that's sort of interesting. It's a shooter game where now there's this crazy puzzle people are trying to solve. It's just, it's something to talk about, something to get people interested in the game or excited.
But what if like it turns out to be something disappointing, like this huge community Easter egg, right? Because somebody mentioned it in one of the streams
like
earlier that
into the final forge that was easier than the forge in front of it.
No. What I mean by that is because somebody earlier was saying, Marathon is a game that Bungie created years ago. Right? Yeah. It's a whole nother game that Bungie created. Well, what if this whole symbol thing is just making a call out to that game, and then somewhere in that game there's, I don't know, an item, a weapon, an artifact, an armor, or something like that, and then that's Bungie's way of letting us know that, hey, this is going to come to Destiny. Haha! It's a big Easter egg! Yay!
No, I don't think they do that.
Good, because I would lose what little sanity I have. Okay.
I think
I just hope it's not the Gallahorn. Please don't want to be a Gallahorn. Please don't bring the Gallahorn back to Destiny.
Right, because they're gonna nerf it. They're immediately gonna nerf it. That's just gonna really, really anger me, and that's gonna be like a 2-hour rant in its own self.
Wait, I figured it out. I know what it is now. There's a bow catalyst at the end of the maze. You have to get there. You have to 1v1 Cade.
But there's no exotic solar bows.
Once you beat him, not yet. In the middle of the maze.
Well, let's put it like this. There's 19,000 people watching Destiny 2 at this point in time on Twitch. So it's brought a lot of people that are interested into the community. At the moment, there's 9.5 1,000 people viewing Glad, who's only just got back into it now. It's Chevy. He's been going for quite a lot of the time today. He's up to 2.5k viewers. T-Rec, he's been on for about 2 or 3 hours. He's got about 1,000 viewers. So I think Say No to Rage has probably disappeared at this point. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of streams going on regarding trying to solve this puzzle. So, that's quite interesting.
Meanwhile, there's 533 people, are watching people stream on Destiny 2 on a Mixer. So it's it's hanging out over there.
Yeah. If anybody's interested in getting the 19 lore pages and looking up the different symbols, Ebontis has a Corridors of Time guide and explanation where he kind of goes over how it all came about and what the community figured out and different things. But in his video, he does have a screenshot of all the different symbols that you can kind of follow to do the different pages. And they all work because I went away and tested it. As Parody didn't believe me that I tested all 19 lore pages.
Oh, no.
Symbols for the podcast.
I absolutely believe that you did it. I was just saying you didn't have to. It's not that I didn't believe you did.
No,
right,
I did.
Because
I had to pick a guide.
He 100% had to do it. We all know this. I don't know why you engage in this conversation 100%. With
that.
Yeah, I know.
Remember you telling me that Alpine Dash story? You just had to get it done. You had 4 to go, something like that.
Yeah, had to get that done.
Yeah, and I like Pontus' video because that's what we use too. Is that big screenshot he's got with all the different combinations, partially again to see what they were calling each shape, because the nomenclature pan I had used our first run through was different. So it's nice to know, okay, this is what you're calling hex. This is, snake's fairly obvious. This is what you're calling diamond. So it's nice to know if you are helping out, here's what the community is calling each of these shapes. So you have a common vocabulary to use.
Yeah, everybody seems to be using the same vocabulary for these symbols, don't they, at the moment?
Yeah, sure makes talking about it easier.
So I've got a few extra little tips for it. So when you go into one of the rooms and there's kind of these red flashing kind of vex, I don't know how to describe them. They're kind of just off in the distance. They're flashing red, but when you get close to them, they're those exploding harpies that track you. When they do, they contain you in one of those bubbles. You have to kind of get out and hit the bubble with your weapons or whatever. So just be careful of those things. You can reset your run at the pillar outside. So once you've gone and collected the lore page, if you walk slowly towards the middle section to see the grave, it will transport you back outside. And to the left of the main doorway, there's this pillar that if you hang around for a couple of seconds, it will let you reset. And it's reset because down in the reflective floor, it'll have a symbol on it that will then suddenly turn to the cauldron symbol, which is the main doorway symbol that you go through. Or when you walk into the room, it will show you a symbol of a cauldron. Well, that's what everyone's calling it anyway. You can also die inside a run and just continue to the next symbol that you need to. You don't have to start over again. It will just spawn you back into the previous corridor. So as long as you know which symbol you've got to go to next in the doorway, it doesn't matter if you die in that room. Just carry on to the next symbol. Also, if you die at the tomb, which happened to me several times, it kind of doesn't give you any respawn point. It doesn't say hold down X to respawn or anything. If you give it a couple of minutes, tap a few buttons, it'll spawn you back outside. Or sometimes it spawns you right back next to the tomb and you have to try and get out of the room. So keep walking slowly up to the tomb and it should transport you back outside. I used a max mobility Titan. So I'd put on the Lion Rampants as well, which really helped. So I had 100 mobility and I just bypassed killing everything and just headed for whichever symbol it was on the door to get through quicker. I mean, it still took me over an hour to do them. That may have been because of my little one keep calling me for some attention at the same time. But still, it took quite a while to do 19 symbols. Yeah. So it's not something you're going to be able to do quickly. So yeah.
But you can do it, and then you will have done it and have your lore pages. Do the lore pages do those count towards any? Well, I guess I wouldn't count towards any of the titles or anything yet.
No, they count towards scoring for your
the feeling of a job well done.
But
are any of them interesting?
Not really sure whether you have to collect the 19 lore pages to continue in the quest or not.
Have you read any?
No. Not yet.
You've gotten them and you haven't read any.
Look, I was on a
has them.
time basis.
He has them. It's completionism. That's the important part. He's completed the task.
Yes, I've completed the 19 lore page task and got my emblem.
How can you be Bife without you're not Bife, excuse me.
See, I'm not Bife. I'm not Bife. I'm not Houndish. Please stop this now. I'm just English.
First of all, we're never going to stop. So you're really barking up the wrong tree with that.
Yeah, it's way too much fun. Sorry.
Right? And the fact that you're letting it get to you this way means that it's worth it for us.
No, nobody said it's getting to me. I'm just saying.
No, nobody said it. You're behaving as though it is. You're like, please stop this now. Yeah, it's getting to you.
I'm just kind of surprised you haven't assigned various American streamers to us because God knows there's enough of them. They have to. That's the ones that sound like.
Yeah, do me.
Do me. Yeah, no, not gonna do it.
So, has anybody else anything else to say on the Corridors of Time stuff?
Nope. So I'm mute.
Brilliant.
Good
Glad
job.
I invited you on.
Wow! What? That was pretty cool.
That's not going to be.
Used to it, man.
Do you have anything to say? No. Wow, I'm glad I invited you here.
I want to be swap
Wow.
meet, man. I'm sticking to the gig.
No, that was particularly ouch. Like,
Okay.
even though you don't take offense to that, I take offense to that on your behalf, Odie.
Late breaking update though. DMG has just tweeted, it seems the latest puzzle has taken longer than 20 minutes.
Really poking them nose. Really poking the bear.
And Glad has replied saying, sit down, watch us, and drink your coffee from this, please. Thanks from us. And it's a lovely coffee mug with one of Respawn's favorite phrases on it. So
No.
clearly that means they're going to have this solved in the next hour or so.
What's my favorite phrase? No, what is it? What's the coffee mug say?
You if you don't know what your favorite phrase is, sir, I really can't help you.
Oh!
DMG has had some fun with our streamer friends going, hey guys, look, we made something that was harder for you. So yeah, it'll be solved within the hour. It's 5:47 p.m. Eastern now. By this evening, it'll be done.
It may not be.
If it can be, yeah. Again, we don't know if if there's a time gated part to it, but
Odie, so are you ready to play the game now?
Which game?
The hot take game. So, what is your hot take on the Corridors of Time quest?
Do I have to be mad about something?
No, you can.
No.
You could just.
It's your hot take.
on the
Mad,
Corridors of
glad,
Time quest.
sad, excited about, angry about. You never know. That's the joy of hot take.
Okay, so I played a lot of puzzle games in my life, and a lot of SPS games with a lot of puzzles in them. Like, how in Halo and stuff, there was these, you had to shoot a couple things and stuff like that, and get Easter eggs in Halo and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of this type of stuff, but I never have the time to do it. I just don't have the patience, but I still like seeing it, So yeah. I'll sit around for a while, let people do their thing, then I'll watch a video on it, then I'll do it by myself. I'll let other people do the work for me because I'm a lazy,
You're an intelligent hunter that doesn't work unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Work smart, not hard.
Who watches the Titans run off the cliff in front of you and then go, now I know not to do that.
Kind of proving my point, buddy.
Okay, so moving on to next week in Destiny. Thank you so much, Parody, because you actually took notice of the screen that came up today for the reset. Although it stayed up for me this week as well, which was really handy. So we have week 3 of the Void Legendary Sundial. Crucible playlists include Team Scorched, Showdown, and the Iron Banner is back.
Yeah.
IO will be your flashpoint. Plus, don't forget, for those people still hunting their lore pages, it will be the full curse week on the Dreaming City. Odie, hot takes.
I love Iron Banner.
Love it.
That is the best hot take.
Yep.
First of all, he's lying. Second of all,
So, which one of you lovely gentlemen would like to take us through the hotfix 2.7.0.2 that happened not on Tuesday, but on Thursday this week?
It depends. How long is my part?
I do love a
Not that
hotfix.
You can do the hotfix, Respawn.
Damn it. My wife just bought me some feijoada and I was really enjoying it. All right, guys. Hotfix 2.7.0.2 fixed an issue where the Wishender's Broadhead perk was dealing more damage than intended unless you're shooting through a shrubbery. Because actually, they broke it even worse. What they did is they applied the Telesto patch. They applied the Telesto patch in this hotfix. And what that means is if you shoot anything through the shrubbery, not only is the Wishender still broken, it is massively worse. I think it has like 12 to 14 ticks of damage now. So if you can find a place that's got a tree or some shrubs or a floating leaf, shoot an enemy through it and you'll two-shot major bosses. It's good fun. Next one, equipping both a fusion rifle scavenger mod and a linear fusion scavenger mod will no longer cause heavy ammo to be gained from special ammo boxes. That's cool. Stand by. Oh, that went down the wrong pipe. All right, using Telesto with heavy-handed obelisk mod will no longer generate unintentional extra special ammo.
I do look a heavy-handed obelisk.
Right. Fixed an issue that would cause the EDZ obelisk interact component to despawn. That actually works. I tested it. Good job, Bungie. Fixed an issue that could cause the Sundial reward currency to be issued to players twice. Bad Bungie. Bad Bungie. Why do you have to fix the good things? Why can't you? Eververse waypoint notification
more on the Wishender.
Yeah.
No, they just applied the Telesto patch. That's what they did.
The Wishender is the new Telesto. Stand by Telesto. The Wishender is the new you.
I told you that they have a function that specifically calls the Telesto, and they accidentally called that function to the Wishender. It was not intentional, obviously, but they didn't know what else to do. So, fixed an issue that could cause Sundial reward. Okay, Everest waypoint notification has been disabled. Thank you. The Season 9 seasonal starter bundle will no longer appear as owned for players who bought the Season 8 seasonal starter bundle. Whoever you are, I don't know why you would buy 8 and not 9, but shame on you. Gunsmith weekly destination bounty will be re-enabled and properly rotate weekly instead of daily. Also, Crucible daily bounties will now rotate daily instead of weekly. Awesome.
Good, right before Iron Banner.
Yeah.
Guardians for Austria. Guardians for
Future Florida.
Guardians for Future Florida. A fundraising campaign is live on the Bungie store and the Bungie store EU. As they mentioned last week, they have developed a limited time t-shirt with an additional in-game emblem code to show support for those in need. Honestly, I like the emblem. I think aside from, saving the koalas and the sugar gliders, I would donate for the emblem. Honestly speaking, that's pretty dope.
But you don't like the shirt though?
I do like the shirt. The shirt with the
it's a ship flying over a kangaroo.
A kangaroo, right? Yeah.
What's not to love there?
No, it's good.
If it were Dusk and Dawn, that's the only way that shirt would be better. But I'll take
maybe that's one of the shader colors. Did you check to see what colors the shirt comes in? Maybe it does come in Dusk and Dawn.
No, it doesn't come in that color.
Dear Bungie, this is what you need in life. It would be better. Or Sunrise Warrior. I'm not picky.
So this week at Bungie for January 16th, 2020. We've already covered quite a few little bits. So the opening, where they talked about the new puzzle that we're all trying to solve. They do talk about the Guardians for Australia and the new T-shirt they've designed. But also, Iron Banner is back, and we're getting bonus valor for the week. So they say the dawning has come to a close, and that clears up some room in the tower for Lord Saladin to return and kick off the next Iron Banner. Although, technically, he lives over the other side at the top of the tower where Eva Levante set up shop above Eververse, not really taking up much space. So I don't get their reasoning for that. Anyway, so it starts at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. UK time on January 21st, and in the future in Oz on January 22nd at 4 a.m. Sydney time. Yes, I know there's another time zone, but you guys can work it out from there. A bit like the Europeans, you guys work it out from the 5 p.m. UK. And again, ends at 9 a.m. Pacific on the 28th of January, 12 p.m., 5 p.m. in the UK. And again, future time for Oz on January 29th at 4 a.m. Sydney time. So reset, basically.
Yep.
Based on feedback collected during the first Iron Banner from this season, they'll be auto-completing everyone through the portion of the quest which requires rocket launcher defeats. Yay!
Hold for applause. Because that's where I got to, and it's just like, you know what? No. I got about halfway done, and I was like, you know, I'm done. I can pick this up next Iron Banner. It will be fine.
But no, you don't even have to. You can just swap to another character now. Carry on. They weren't able to deploy a change to this step, but they can complete it for anybody who hasn't already done so, and this gives them time to consider changing it or removing this step for next season. So not this season, so it'll just auto-complete for every character this season, and they'll just change how they're doing next season. It will be grenade launchers next season, so wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it'll be sidearms from across the map.
They'll have to auto to complete it for the rest of the
Why?
season.
With the mountaintop and all these new grenade launchers that we have, it's going to be way easier to do it now than what we had last time this came around.
Yeah, but you say that.
They're going to be, it should be linear fusion rifles, or it's going to be a broken quest step. Tune in next season to figure out which quest step is going to be completely broken.
100 kills with swords.
No, I like Iron Banner way better than regular Crucible. Call me a heretic or whatever. I don't care.
Well, I'm curious as to why. Why do you like it more?
Well, I have a lot of good memories playing Iron Banner with my friends on D1.
So it's not the Iron Banner that you like; it's the memories that it gives you.
Yes.
If you take the memories out, right? Exclude the memories. Just apples to oranges. Iron Banner to Crucible. Which one do you like better?
Well, Night Demon and Parody play a lot, so Iron Banner. So that means it gives me time to just talk to them and have fun. So good way to be with friends.
Okay, fair enough.
We've now reached the best part of the podcast, which is Parody's Patch Notes previews.
Certainly the most alliterative part. So now that we finally got 2.7.02 out of the way and shipped to the world, we're going to, hopefully push this one out without a 24-hour or 48-hour delay. So 2.7.1 is on schedule, and here's a small preview of the changes coming to it, which we're going to hopefully see. No, we're not going to see on the 16th, because that's the different one.
No, they don't actually say when it's going to be released, but it may be
sneaky
Tuesday.
So in 2.7.1, which coming sometime soon to you, we're going to have some changes to the orbit and the director. So players will be able to shortcut directly to their roster by selecting their empty fire team slots or by invoking the roster shortcut on the director map screens. Guess that's somewhat quicker. When an activity is selected, fire team leaders can navigate left and right to get to quests and rosters respectively, and then back into their selected activity. Okay. Weapons.
I think you have to come out of it at the moment, don't you? So if you set yourself up for a Nightfall and then you want to go and look at your quest, you have to come out of the Nightfall whole thing and then toggle across and then load it all back up with what you wanted it to be again.
Small quality of life thing. I dig it. Weapons. We're gonna have some weapons coming back and being better. The Breakneck is gonna get some higher damage per second at Rampage 1 and 2, going from up about 50 points of damage. So from 2120 to 2170, and at 2410. I can't read numbers today.
It's all right.
The Breakneck is going to have higher damage. So it was real weak before. Nobody used it.
But hold on.
Now they're buffing the damage, so it should be more useful.
But hold on. They're only buffing the damage for level 1 and 2 Rampage, not 3. So I was really happy until I saw just the 1 and 2. because they do need some love. But remember how it works. The faster it shoots, the less damage it does. So if you get to Rampage level 3, you're just basically shooting yourself with the foot at that point. So the fact that they only did levels 1 and 2 hurt my feelings. They should have done 3 as well.
So instead of using that, you should go back to your hard light because the screen shake on the hard light firing has been adjusted. So you should be able to. Well, it has been at that point. Will be, has been. By the point you're looking at your breakneck going, this isn't that much better, go back to your hard light, or even better, your A10 Warthog. Because that's all you really need if you have one auto rifle. That's all you need in life. We're also getting a couple of armor changes, so several armor class mods will correctly provide diminishing returns when multiple copies of the mod are equipped, which include Perpetuation, Innervation, Invigoration, Insulation, and Absolution. The grenade launcher scavenger will also no longer award special ammo for grenade launchers when the player picks up primary ammo bricks. And also, Worm God Crest, still broken.
And now we move into the second most favourite part of the podcast, which is Parody's known issues. We just let him carry on talking, basically.
Well, once again, you don't want to know those known issues, but that's okay. Our solar subclass emotes. So earlier this week, they identified an issue where the solar subclass emotes were being sold for an incorrect price of 800 silver. They were removed from the feature page, but are still available for the correct price of 500 silver on the seasonal page. So if you're just banging down the road to get those, that's where you can find them. Your Armored 2.0 Transcendent Blessing mods are not appearing in players' inventories. So if you had one, they're gone now. They might come back. They might be gone forever. It's hard to say. Transitioning between areas of the Pit of Heresy dungeon may result in unintentional character death. This, however, will not prevent players from completing flawless dungeon runs. So if the dungeon kills you for no good reason, you can still get your flawless run done as long as you don't get killed for a good reason. And finally, the Sundial Fractaline Extractor 3 obtained from the Nessus Obelisk incorrectly states an increased chance to find polarized fractaline when completing strikes. This enhancement actually increases the chance to find polarized fractaline when completing the Sundial and Menagerie. So when Pan asked me earlier today, hey, didn't one of those do strikes? The answer was yes, it does say that it does, but it doesn't actually do that because by strikes we meant Sundial and Menagerie. So, cool. And for a full list of issues in Destiny 2, check out the known issues article. We'll link it in the show notes. Go to Bungie Help. You know the drill by now. There are bugs. If you see bugs, let Bungie know about it so they can work on fixing the bugs or introducing new and exciting bugs. Bugs, bugs, bugs. And with that, we move you on to Bugs Bunny Respawn's Report Roundup.
And by Report Roundup, what you really mean is Renegade Respawn's Ridiculousness Rage-Filled Report Roundup. I will never remember that a second time.
No, you really won't. If only it were being recorded somewhere.
If only. Oh, well, yeah, but it's going to get edited out. I know him. He's going to edit it out. You mean freaking editor, freaking person, stupid face.
Nobody knows it by that name. It's Respawn's Report Roundup.
I hate that name. Cosmo will let the team know. Good God, why do we even have him on here?
Take a drink, everyone.
I don't have any alcohol with me right now. Stand by, hold on.
Let's see how drunk we can get Respawn. Bungie
depends on what he's drinking. If he's, then I'll know if he's got good taste or not.
You know he doesn't.
No,
just assume. I mean, meanwhile, we'll talk about the Galloping Knight multiplayer emote from Monty Python. Because
yes, it is worth 12,000 silver.
I need it. I'm looking at it going, I have to spend $20 to get enough silver because, of course, $10 gets you 1,000 and then an extra 100.
Where's he going?
Or I guess maybe I could buy the 500. I don't know. I'm looking at that emote going, I think I need it. And the fact that it's a multiplayer emote is even more spectacular. He's running to the store to get a drink.
You and Pan said, there's a Monty Python emote in here. What? I went right over and I was like, oh, Monty Python.
Yeah, I need it. I need that a lot. It's kind of amazing. Well, he might be back later. It's hard to say. Shall we carry on? And then if he comes back, he can come back?
I am coming back. Hold on.
You were already back. Oh god. Oh man, those notifications are doing a dance.
All right, where we at?
The first one.
Cosmo will let the team know, huzzah, the feedback that players would like the color of Righteous Greaves to be changed with shaders. Reddit link. We'll pass on. Oh my god. We'll
take another drink.
Luna, I need alcohol. Dubious amounts of alcohol. What do we have? We have vodka? No? Boil some potatoes. Bring it to me. Bring me the juice. All right? Anyway, we'll pass along your feedback that players would like drop rates increased for year 1 raid catalyst, raid weapons, and I need alcohol. Because they make me read this section every freaking week that basically consists of, we'll let the guys know. We're keeping an eye on it. We've seen your post. We'll let the team know. I'm talking to the team. Yada, yada, freaking yada. So I need alcohol. We have 90% alcohol? What the hell do we have to got that?
What's the other 10%?
Something she's made in a shoe
what is
for
it?
you.
A bottle of alcohol, 70%.
Yeah, which bottle do we have of alcohol?
We have wine.
Alcohol
Yeah,
brand alcohol?
Yeah.
I don't like wine, though.
You don't like wine.
That's why we have all the champagne.
Boil some potatoes, ferment them, and bring me what's left, okay? Yes.
Bring him the whiskey.
Bring me some fermented potatoes, a.k.a. vodka.
Get out of here.
Oh, we have rice. You can ferment rice, make some sake. Whatever. Anyway, we'll pass along your feedback. The players would like drop rate. Next Reddit link on Dead Cliffs. We've made some minor changes. Spawning of Dead Cliffs. You can read the full patch notes on the changes that we made to the maps that returned. Here is a link. Doesn't appear it was enough to prevent the spawn trapping, though. I'll put in a request to move her from the control playlist based on feedback here, which is a different Reddit link. Feedback about Hunter invisibility overuse has been passed. Whoa, what?
I knew that one would catch your eye.
Okay, first of all,
you're a one-trick pony.
Hunter invisibility overuse. Excuse me, sir. You touch my Hunter invisibility overuse. I am uninstalling Destiny. You stop messing with hunters. What about Titans overusing their punches? It's my class ability. Stupid. Don't touch it.
We covered that last week. You get the small gun, you charge it up, you murder the Titan. 10 out of 10. We reviewed that last week.
No, that's so stupid. About us using our class ability too much. Oh, good lord. Just stop your nonsense. Leave the hunters alone.
What class have you been using? Gunslinger?
It depends.
Okay, if
it's solar damage, yes, I use Gunslinger.
Okay. Well, I recommend using the Gunslinger if you want it, whether it's PvE or PvP.
No, I use bottom tree Gunslinger a lot, but whenever I'm doing any PvE activity, I use the tether because it just does more damage than the one-shot golden gun. I'm sorry, it just does. So it's better for boss killing. And I also use Void in PvP because having 6 to 8 tethers to stop supers and kill people is just better damage than a 3-shot golden gun or even a 6-shot golden gun. I'm just saying. But just because I use the Void 98% of the time does not mean that we use invisibility too much. Okay? Yeah. Don't touch my invisibility. Stupid Cosmo. I hate you, Cosmo. Your name is stupid. Your comments are stupid. The fact that you think hunters overuse invisibility is stupid.
He doesn't. Someone on Reddit link does.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I think his name was Destiny Fun Police. I think you need to aim it towards him.
Oh, all right, Destiny Fun Police. I don't even know who you are. I know we have your links on the show, but I've never bothered to watch any. And if you think that hunters are a bad thing, then I'm going to continue not to watch your links. How about that? DMG has decided to say that the team is investigating Ding! Performance issues and loading times. That's a Reddit link. Feedback about thread moving Telesto, Sleeper, Acurus, Skyburner, Catalyst to other activities can be found here. There's another Reddit link.
Yes. Yes, for the love of God. Move the Telesto one because I want a broken gun that'll also give me orbs. I don't want to do the stupid raid layer that I've never done and have no interest in ever doing.
Yeah, and the Sleeper. I don't really mind about the Acurus one because
the Sleeper no one cares about.
Yeah.
They're discussing the feature of sending a message to people who've submitted a. Well, we've already did this last week.
No,
they
haven't.
Yes, we did because we had a discussion about how I'm happy to get a feedback that the player that you've reported has been banned.
No,
we did discuss this last week, unless you edited it out.
No, we discussed it last week. He just is giving you the same things to read this week to see if you noticed that you read them last week as well.
I know what he's doing.
No, you didn't. You sure don't.
You definitely don't.
Mm-hmm.
No.
They've been seeing the feedback about difficulty or the lack thereof for players deep into the end game. We'll continue to pass it along. Pride pins have restocked on the Bungie store. If you have been waiting to get a hold of one, now is your.
Now is your what? Now is your something.
Cut out there.
I said now is your chance. Did I cut out?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Did.
Pride pins have been restocked on the Bungie store. If you've been waiting to get a hold of one, now is your chance.
I can never tell if the long pauses are you being dramatic or Discord going, no, you don't need that word. That's not important to you.
Why can't it be both? Don't put me in a box, man. All right.
That's Luna's job.
Right. Media Bungie replied, "This menu lag is insane." Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
What the?
Because
dude.
Yeah, this menu lag is insane. This is with an SSD. Agree. As somebody else with an SSD, he's playing Destiny off of on an Xbox. Yeah.
As somebody that has an SSD on the Xbox and even sometimes on PC, I see this lag.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They said they were supposed to fix this like a month ago or even more. We had this discussion in the past.
Yeah, it's gotten worse. Like I'll just go to pull up the character and pull up the go to a weapon and it will like stutter its way over there. So I don't know. Again, I'm going to blame the Telesto and the Wish Ender working together. We've got 2 slots covered. We just need something in the heavy slot to completely take over the game for the evil weapons of, triumphantness.
Oh God! I hope it's the Leviathan. The Leviathan will be the next thing to be broken.
No, we've got a fusion rifle and a bow, so whatever complements those two, probably a hand cannon.
In a heavy slot, that'd be interesting.
A heavy hand cannon
would be interesting. I would love to see that.
Maybe that's what's in the middle of the maze.
So DMG has responded. He says that he's encountered it as well in a few activities, but he'll be more than likely to send this report over to the team. They believe that they're in the process of investigating this
this performance issue, among others. So they see it, they're aware of it. They're going to try to figure out what in the world's causing it because it's definitely just gotten worse.
And they will update us when they can.
Insanely bad. This is not whatever. Thank you for your feedback. We'll continue to pass it along. Damage, you're useless. Reputation granted from telemetry data does not feel appropriate. Some highly desirable ghost shells have undesirable perks.
Yes, they do. Why do you want Speed Demon on everything? Everything you can get from Eververse that you can buy at the moment. Speed Demon. Why?
Yeah, I use
because the sparrows haven't been spawning. Again. Well, the sparrows haven't been spawning with the to let you summon it faster perk. I forgot what it's called. But like my favorite ones, like the Anna Bray one or the polar bear or a few of the other newer ones that I've been getting, not a single one of them spawns faster. I do care because as somebody that does the raid, when I have to run away screaming from the sun, I want my sparrow to spawn quickly. Okay,
get somebody else to push the button, and you already be on your sparrow. Then stop moaning.
I'm talking about during the middle when you have to disengage your sparrow to hit a button and then jump back on one to take off. That's what I'm talking about.
Am I allowed to have another hot pick?
Yeah,
yes, hot take.
No, hot take.
Hot take. I wish the Saintly Shell in the season pass had Guiding Light or Guiding Light and Treasure Hunter, to be honest.
It would be awesome if they had both. Can they get both?
What does it have?
I think it has. Treasure Hunter and the public event thing.
Not
That's what I
ideal.
remember seeing but in a random mod as well.
Random and undesirable. Yeah, there's a reason they give you ghost shells, and I go, oh, cool, another ghost shell. I don't care. And yeah,
I like the look. I'm just saying that because I like the look of the Saintly shell.
Right, like I want to love it, but yeah, it's got Treasure Hunter and Public Defender and IO combo detector. Why?
Yeah, I've got Moon combo detector on mine.
Yeah, so it's like, why would I ever use this? I want to use it. I want to love it. I want to love it so hard, but I can't because you give me something with a guiding light, and that's all I'm ever going to use because I don't care about anything else.
Every ghost should come stocked with guiding light, because if you don't have guiding light, who's using them? Period. That shouldn't even be a roll. That should be inherent in every ghost. Your ghost gives you 10% extra XP. Every exotic ghost should have inherently.
Just give me guiding light and speed demon. That's what I have on this lunar shell that I use. I basically never take it off. I want to love the other ghosts, but I just can't. Sorry, guys.
What about Treasure Hunter? You don't like Treasure Hunter?
Good too, yeah.
It's amazing.
I hunt enough treasure. I just go to Spider and make him give me treasure.
I've got a couple of good shells that give me guiding light with the 10% XP, and then also like say they've got a Crucible one. It's got Crucible experience log, which gives me another 10% while I'm in Crucible. I've got another one that gives me, I think, Gambit as well with the guiding light. So you get, no, it's not 20% overall, it's 10%, and then another 10% on top of that. But if more of them could have that, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have my that Crucible exotic shell, that one with the Crucible emblem on it. I've got double guiding lights on it. Not guiding lights, Crucible experience and guiding light.
And can we just all agree that nobody needs more gunsmith anythings? Banshee,
yeah, I
got a favorite.
Totally.
I'm glad you have a favorite. Nobody cares about your favorite. I don't need any more gunsmith anythings. You've given me all the guns. I've broken them all down. I can never spend all these stupid parts. There's no reason to. Stop giving them to me. It's not important.
I just spent 7,000 parts trying to farm for a weapon that I was trying to get, and I still didn't get the weapon after 7,000. I was trying for Last Hope, which I'm not even sure he hands out, and then there was another one I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, he I think you get that from the legendary engrams. I don't think it's Hope from the gunsmith.
Right, but there was one that I know comes from the gunsmith. I had it written down somewhere because I watched the video and I was farming for it, and now I forgot. But there was another one I was also trying to get. I was trying to get either one of those, and after 7,000, I didn't get anything good. Not just I didn't get those weapons that I was looking for. I didn't get anything with good rolls. Period.
Yeah,
like at all.
There's no reason to give him things. It's just disappointment. I got thousands of those things. I can't remember the last time I gave him anything.
I have to admit, I got Cammy Cake's Antiope D god roll, which he's always bragging about it. So I got that god roll, which was pretty nice. Kill clip and forget what the other perk was, range and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a god roll that he's been bragging about. You're bragging that you got it, and you can't even tell us what it is.
Look, it does the god roll things that he was told the god rolls do.
Says the man who can't remember anything.
If it matches the pictures on the video, you know you've got the god roll, and that's all you care about.
Yep.
You don't actually take it in.
I have legitimate medical reasons why my memory is crap. Okay, thank you.
That's it, god roll, done.
That's got that picture. That's got that picture. I'm done.
Yeah,
is that it?
That's what you do. You match the pictures. It's like, Snap. Yeah. You go, yep. Oh, God, roll.
It's like Snap.
Yeah.
Educate me. What is Snap?
Well, you never play. I don't know what you guys call. When you've got like playing cards and you match like an ace and an ace together. Basic kind of. If you're playing against
basically a flush.
No, if you're putting you two decks, so you're playing against somebody, right, and it's all mixed up, and you put a card down, they put a card down, and you just like taking the one from the top and just placing it on top.
That sounds like war.
Yeah, war.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever you guys call it. So the pack that you've got is face down. The pack that they've got is face down. You kind of
Yeah. And if it matches, you have to put down 3 more cards and then flip another one. See who gets the highest one.
okay. That's probably a different. But yeah. If no, if if it matches and you say snap, the other person has to pick up that pile, and their pile gets bigger. Your pile gets smaller, and the person wins when they get rid of all. Anyway, so it's basically like that. So
see, War is literally the exact
symbols.
opposite. War, you want you want to take all of his cards from him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Texas Hold'em guy.
Seems ironic they would teach anybody things about not collecting, colonies and taking over the entire world. But hey,
Ooh, too soon.
That reminds me of a GIF I saw. Let me see if I can find it.
No, let's not.
So it reminds me of this next picture that says, "So, are we ever going to get a fix to see everyone who's online and in game on your clan roster on PC?"
No,
we're not. Cosmo 23. Anybody want to guess what he says without looking? Anybody want to guess? Huh?
We're gonna pass it on.
Close.
Let you know.
Close. We're working on a fix.
No, they're working on a fix.
That's
so they're
right.
not passing it on to the dev team. They're
Nope.
working on a fix.
They're working on a fix. Yes.
Cosmo will take care of it for you. Don't worry. Just gotta toggle some configuration files around, reload some caches, reticulate some splines, and we're right there.
So now we've reached near the end of the podcast, which could possibly mean we still go on for another 45 to an hour's long.
Mm-hmm.
But we might not. So it just depends. But I thought I'd start by reminding everybody for the following week, the week of the 28th of September, 2020. So this will be the week that we start the exotic quest for Bastion, and we're back to the Ark for the legendary Sundial. So if you haven't already, for the Bastion quest, start collecting and completing spider bounties, because as part of the quest steps, you will need to
don't turn them in. Sorry. Collect them, complete them, don't turn them in. Sorry, you didn't say that. I don't want people...
Hang on.
If you had let him finish the sentence, he probably would have gotten there.
Nope.
So you'll need to complete and turn in 10 for the quest step. So complete them, but don't turn them in. Plus...
See, why didn't you say that in the beginning?
Because I was
What if somebody stopped listening?
But they may have stopped listening to the point where Respawn jumps in.
Nah.
Honestly, if they've made it this far, they're in here for the long.
Okay.
They're here to wait for if there's a song at the end.
No, there's no song at the end because he hasn't sung this week.
I don't sing any week.
So
not true.
Also, we've got the Imperium Foundation that's coming in a few more weeks. I think it's the beginning of February. So start hoarding your polarized Fractaline, because apparently some of the points on the Imperium Foundation require you to donate large amounts of this stuff. So if you're doing all the bounties and just doing random stuff now and just kind of hoard it, there is a reason why you're getting loads and loads of this for just random amounts. Don't discard it. There is a point to it. So if you can, try and do those bounties weekly, try and do the St. 14 ones, and build up a quite big collection of your polarized Fractaline. So you didn't know that bit, did you, Respawn?
Yeah, it's right here in front of me.
Shut up. So as Respawn alluded to earlier, the Wishender has got a 12 times damage exploit, and Cheese Forever has a video for you to watch if you are interested in seeing what damage it can do and what foliage you can shoot it through. He also has a solo the second chest in the Last Wish raid on a hunter. Now, this previously wasn't able to be done, but it can be done now. There is I'd say an exploit of how to get your hunter across a bridge. So go and watch that.
Gap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you're saying he soloed it?
Oh, no. He
Wow.
soloed. Is it the same guy that soloed like the entire Riven encounter? Is that the same guy?
No, this is Cheese Forever. He's showing you how to get the second chest.
Sorry.
So there, you can enter the code on the wish wall, and you can get to one of the chests by just jumping back underneath the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's another chest that you can get to that you could only have been done on a warlock and a titan so far. But he shows you how to do it on a hunter.
Fancy,
right?
So you can do it on 3 characters each week and get more Godroll weapons to drop from the Last Wish anyway, and not actually do the Last Wish.
Yay.
Destiny Fun Police has got a My God Roll shotgun. Now this comes from the Menagerie, and I believe it's the Imperial. Hang on,
It's the Decree shotgun. There you go.
Yes, so it's the Imperial Decree shotgun, and he's got a God Roll for that with slideshot on it. And what he does is he pairs it with the Exotic Titan boots, which are the Antaeus wards, where if you slide into somebody, you get a kind of protective shield, and whatever they're shooting at you gets reflected back at them. So you can imagine Destiny Fun Police as a shotgunning Titan sliding towards you, and you go to whip out your shotgun and take a shot at him. All those shotgun pellets are reflected back at you. Plus, he has a God Roll shotgun. There's some really good game footage. And it's also quite easy to get from just farming the Menagerie. You know, you can set up your chalice to get a range masterwork on it, and then just go in there and get the same God Roll, play snap as he's got. Match up the symbols. So go and watch that one. That's a really cool video. I was having a good laugh about that. Cool Guy also goes over the Breachlight sidearm review for PvP and PvE, and he goes over different roles for this guide. It's a 2-burst sidearm, and Cool Guy says it might really be in the top 5 to 10 kinetics for PvE and PvP. It has perks on the pool that excels and elevates it, and with the 16% damage buff to minor and major enemies in PvE, and the overall target acquisition buff that all sidearms got recently, this 2-burst feels great. And he goes over the base stats, perks, perk combos for PvE and PvP usage, and more. And the sidearm has a place, and he encourages you to go and get one. So I think we did kind of bring it up a couple of weeks. I think it was last week with one of the build videos where you can get one with Osmosis and Demolitionist on it, where Cool Guy breaks it down for what roles you'll be looking for in PvP. So yeah, go and check it out because it is a good gun. And then a couple of other ones that I thought would be interesting. Astrocross Gaming put out a video the other week with exotics and weapons that break the Crucible. Now, this is quite an interesting one because it's a semi-rant, you kind of know what he's talking about.
Yeah, and it's also informative because, I mean, we all know this, but he just lays it out in front of you as to why they are the way that they are. And yeah. I don't want to say that they break Crucible because they don't break Crucible, but there is no counter to them. I feel as though that's necessary to say because those are two different problems.
Well, he says there's little to no counter to these Crucible weapons, which kind of does sort of break Crucible because if everybody, he says, if you have a whole team of these people running around with these specific weapons and these
A10 Warthogs?
No, actually, Lord of Wolves. He basically says that
I've seen the video, but I'm just saying A10 Warthogs on the whole team of Titans. That would be
he doesn't know yet.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know yet.
No, but like the Lord of Wolves, it's a pretty easy gun to use, and you put it in a skilled player's hands, and it just makes these weapons completely OP. So, if you're unfamiliar or you've just come into Destiny and you're wondering what weapons to use in PvP, and you can get hold of these ones. I believe Mountaintop is one of them. Lord of Wolves, the exotic shotgun, and if you are a warlock, there are some gauntlets that you can use, which are exotic, which really do help, which a lot of warlocks are crutching on at the moment.
Last Word is a big one in the
Last Word as well, but that's mainly for PC, he says.
Yeah,
and one that I keep forgetting to put in every couple of weeks, and it was on the podcast that I did with Respawn. I forgot to write it. I forgot to put it in. But Badass Gaming did top 10 things noobs do in Destiny 2. And some of the stuff is really hilarious. I think, was it number 6 was the worst super for basically in the game, which is the Titan super.
the crash down?
How many fails? That was just so funny. So if you want to have a laugh, it's not necessarily what noobs do, it's what Frozen clan members do as well. So it's
not just Frozen. I can't tell you how many times I've played and or Gambit where I've seen a Titan sailing off into death.
Yes.
Yeah. He looks amazing. He's so majestic, but then he just dies.
Would you call him a majestic eagle, perhaps?
Perhaps, depending on the day.
Oh, dear. So yeah, that's it for the videos this week, and I will make sure that I've got all the links in the show for the raid secrets if it's still going on. If it's not, then I won't bother putting them in there. But I'll put all the tips, tricks, builds, and guides, and the Badass Gaming Top 10 Noobs thing. So that's that. We also have another email question from Cody, because Cody seems to like asking us lots of questions. So we have a guest this week. So guests go first, as per usual, as normal, which is not that often. So
just stop talking.
I will.
No, you'll save it. Keep going. You're almost there.
Odie.
Yes.
If you could buff one gun, and he does explicitly say no bow catalyst respawn.
What the hell?
Why? What would it be, and why? Odie, you're up first. You do have thinking time. I can edit the thinking time out, or I can play music in between.
The Oxygen SR3.
Ooh, good call.
That thing is I mean,
It's a pinnacle weapon, and
PvE.
it's the worst one.
Yeah.
What?
That thing could be a monster in PvE. I mean, it kind of is at killing ads, but I think it could be better in some way or shape or form. Yeah. I mean, Dragonfly with the Dragonfly spec and everything, it's pretty good, but I just don't see myself using it as much. Give me a reason to use it. Buff it, please. I got it, and I was like so disappointed in it. So that's it.
Respawn or parody?
He says no bow catalyst. How literal are we being on? Right?
Choose something that's not a bow.
Okay. It doesn't say anything about exotics. Gosh, I think it would have to be between the Bad Juju and the Luna's Howl. You know what? I'm gonna go with Luna's Howl. I'm gonna go with that because I got it after it was nerfed, so I would love to see what it was like pre-nerf. I think.
Parody?
I'm struggling this week. I don't have one that's right there.
Buff the A10 Warthog again. Give it 200 rounds in the magazine.
The sweetest business. Yeah, more bullets. I mean,
or better yet, you don't have a magazine. It's just belt fed. You have all 999 rounds.
Okay, hear me out. You use the emote. You get your coconuts out. Your second person just holds the drum so you can belt feed the sweet business, and just keep firing for a week and a half. I'm going to say the Pyroclastic Flow has really just bothered me lately with its tracking or lack thereof. I'm like, I feel like you should, if you track things, you should actually, track them. I don't know. There's, I don't have a good candidate this week for one that's really been bugging me, or one that I think should be.
What tracking buffed. Are you comparing it to? Like Zenobia D or Truth?
Just like, Truth is in its own class. There's Truth,
right.
There's everything else. No, I mean just things with like tracking module on. I feel like does a better job than the Pyroclastics tracking that it does inherently. Like just like a Bad Omens or a Roar of the Bear, I have both that do tracking, and I feel like both those trackings are better than the Pyroclastic Flows tracking. Either that or the Python, the Pinnacle shotgun from Gambit. I mean, I like the Overflow, I like the 1-2 punch, but it just doesn't feel like it does anything. It just doesn't feel strong. It doesn't feel, even in Gambit, I've been trying to use it. It just doesn't. It's another Pinnacle gun that I look at, like the Oxygen, going, why are you here? What's the situation? Even trying to use it in the thing it's meant for, I don't feel like it's a powerful weapon. I feel like I could put on anything else.
Is it meant
have a
to
better
be
job
though?
at it.
Like when I saw that, and especially when you compare it with Feeding Frenzy, I look at it as though it's not supposed to be a powerful weapon. It's just meant to make you melee harder, flat out. You know, you got the 1-2 punch to make you hit harder, and then the freaking Feeding Frenzy to give you your ammo back faster so you can punch again. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. I don't know. It just, everywhere I've taken it to, I'm going, I don't know what this is for. I don't know.
Because you're a Titan, man. Put on your Peregrine Greaves and fly through the air, killing all the things in one shot.
You know, I have 2 pairs of those. I've never once put them. I think there's part of me that has a bias towards things I had in D1. I'm going, I had that. I did that before. Let's do something else. The Synthesis have become my new favorite in Destiny 2. But anyway, Night Demon, which weapon do you want to buff?
Or armor.
Or
No, it's just weapon. It's just
No,
weapon.
he's a-
Oh, it
Yeah,
does say
yeah.
gun. It does say gun. I'm sorry. My
He
bad.
said gun. Because armor would be all of it. Because who cares? It's all garbage.
I would buff the Redrick's broadsword. Now,
Ooh.
what I would probably change about that is the rate of fire. And with the rate of fire, the damage would come down. But I would maybe slip it down into maybe what the blast furnace is, because currently it's 340 rounds per minute. Is that right? Yeah, 340 rounds per minute. And the blast furnace and like Outbreak Prime are 450, but they do a much better job at.
Aren't they four shots though?
I can't remember, but
I think they are
Blast
4
Furnace
shots,
and
which
the
is why it
Outbreak
ups
are more
the-
consistent. So
Okay.
what I'd actually like to be looking for is something that's more consistent that I can actually use in PvP, because it was a PvP grind to get the weapon, but it's more in line with the Einstein D, which is it's a heavy shooting kind of pulse rifle.
It's
But
high
what I'd like
impact.
to do is, I'd like to bring it back down to what a blast furnace or the Outbreak Prime is, and then when it kicks up a notch, then go into like the Horror's Lease kind of 540 speed of damage and output, because I feel that it's not as competitive as it should be. It should be adjusted for what the meta is, because nobody is using it. Although, when you do manage to get a kill and the range on it is really good, you're barely getting another kill straight away because of reasons. And I think it's
it
one
takes
weapon that
forever to
deserves
fire.
it's one weapon that deserves a little bit of love, to be honest.
See, I like how the way they did that gun. When you up the rate of fire, you don't lose damage, do you? It doesn't bring down the damage of each round, does it?
No,
I'm asking. Okay, so why is it that they did that to the broadsword or the claymore, whatever you want to call it, but they couldn't do that for the breakneck? The breakneck, every time you fire faster, the bullets do less damage, and that's so irritating that it does that.
Unintentional nerf, didn't it?
What did?
The breakneck.
No, but even when it was before it got that unintentional nerf,
It was
it
working
said,
fine.
okay, you say working fine, but it said in the notes, when you go up in speed, your damage on the rounds go down to prevent you from doing too much damage too quickly, which I think is the whole purpose of the gun.
Right.
Right. So the fact that they intentionally made the bullets do less damage every time the speed went up is stupid. They didn't do it to the claymore. Why did they do it to the breakneck?
Because you could still kill faster with the 3-stack of rampage. And to get a 3-stack of rampage in Crucible is not an average Guardian's kind of output, is it?
Which is even
You might get
still,
1, maybe 2 kills.
Still.
And the damage output is reasonable for, getting 1 or 2 kills.
The whole point of rampage is to up the damage that you do, not just the speed. The fact that the rampage increases the speed but decreases the damage is the complete opposite of what rampage is supposed to do to a gun.
Yeah, but it's very unique, that weapon, with the amount of that it speeds up with the
I'm
kills that you
aware,
get.
I'm aware, but
And
still,
then you
they
get
shouldn't have
the
decreased the
added-
damage.
You can get the added bonus of the faster reload with that weapon as well.
Very good.
TikTok?
And I think that's it. Anybody else? Oh, do you have any more hot takes, cold takes, or microwave takes for us this week?
Ooh,
Nope. I really don't, actually. I'm out of ideas.
Very good. Well, thank you for joining us. Your Titans are parody of Night Demon. Your Hunter is no one respawned in real life. And ODST Mayhem 62. You can email the show as ODST said at the top of the hour at 2titansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at 2titans_hunter. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. You can join the Frozen Clan if we haven't kicked you out for not eating enough sandwiches at join.frozen.party. You can find your favorite Guardian on Xbox Live and PC. You can watch the show on YouTube. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and each of those places you should leave us a review. Good, bad, otherwise, don't care. Just leave us a review. And everybody, as we record, happy Halo Day. And I leave you with this final map update. We're up at 93 groups, 2,456 total nodes, and the longest chain is 834. and the Wish Ender can now one-shot you to the body in PvP. So enjoy your weekend, and everybody, say goodbye.
Goodbye!
Bye!
My favorite Destiny 2 character would say, farewells are a necessary part of life.
Indeed.